Today I'm gonna talk again about the video game that I've been working on for the past 3 years with my friend Strauss, called Broken System. You might have already seen it if you're not new to the channel, and if you are, you should subscribe down there if you feel like this game might interest you. A couple of years back, when I made another video talking about the development and how this project started. What is this game about? In this game, you're just another cog in the machine in a dystopic future where everyone and everything is controlled by a massive company, until one day you receive a mysterious email from a rebel group that asks for your help to destroy this broken system. See what I did there? If this looks and sounds interesting to you, good news! The first chapter of the game will be free to play. By this point, I hope the Steam page will be already set up so you can go there and wishlist the game if you want. So what we will be releasing is the first chapter of the game that lasts about 30 minutes of gameplay. Yeah, I know, it's been 3 years and that's everything we were able to achieve. But actually, we are pretty stoked about what we were able to achieve in the past 3 years working on the project in our free time. And depending on how the first chapter does, we will develop the next parts of the game, and that will hopefully take a little bit less time. We already have a lot of pre-production done, and a lot of things will be reused, like all the options menu and gameplay systems that we already built. For now, we have developed 2 areas of the game. The first one is the city with the player's apartment and the dream section. We've been working on making these 2 areas of the game look alive and interesting. For example, we worked on different iterations of the apartment hall's lighting, and bit by bit we try to make the game feel alive and interesting, and to make it look and feel a bit anxious and dark to help you, the player, feel a bit uneasy about this whole situation the main character lives in. But we also wanted to give the player a bit of playfulness and interactivity, and that's why we made it possible to interact with a lot of objects inside the apartment. And also we try to add a bit of humor in our dialogues while keeping them short. You might already know that I love Souls-like games, and from those games I've always loved the attention to details and how the world can narrate itself, and I try to replicate that concept in a smaller way, of course, in this game, communicating the way the main character feels and the world around it with silent narration. Of course, this being a short game, it's a bit hard for us to talk about the game without spoiling it for everyone. So I'm trying to stay the most generic that I can here. Gameplay-wise, it will be a mostly linear experience. In the first chapter, you will have to solve some small environmental puzzles and also to move stealthily in some areas. Designing puzzles that were related to the story was a bit hard. We didn't have much experience doing this, and it's really hard to create puzzles that don't feel like a complete ripoff of puzzles you can find in other games. But we hope we did a good job here. Honestly, as a player, I never realized how hard it will be to design some of these puzzles and to make them feel coherent with the rest of the world, and also a puzzle that can be fun to solve. We hope that you will appreciate them once the game comes out. As I said, we also have stealth sections in the game. We try to approach them as small puzzles themselves, but don't worry if you're not a stealth game player. They are not too complicated, and they are pretty small and short sections. We just thought that considering the theme of the game, it was something that fit in, and Also, as I said, we treated them as a bit of a puzzle to solve. And also, as I talked about in the first devlog, at first we were making a horror game, and this felt like a way to honor the part of the game that was mostly left behind. We also worked on refining the intro scene that you saw in the first devlog, and also we made this beautiful main menu. You can thank Strauster for that. And in this menu, as you can see, you can change the options, the language, and start or log the game, or also exit from the game if you really don't like it. One thing that we also worked a bit on the game for the past years was optimizing it. There were some sections that needed to be thought again, to be reworked and rebuilt, because we didn't consider optimization in the first step, and we tried a lot of stuff to make them more optimized and to make them run on mostly any hardware. For example, I was able to run the game on my laptop at a pretty decent frame rate, and it is a 5-year-old laptop, so I hope most of you, if you have at least an external graphics card, a discrete GPU, will be able to play it, and also if you have a recent enough integrated GPU.
Now granted, this is one of the easiest to run parts of the game, I think, but it's running at 1080p with lowest settings, and it's running just fine. By the way, also probably with Windows it would run a little bit better, but I'm not sure, I haven't tested it. But I only have Linux on this machine, and so I can't test it. Now we are in the apartment, and it's running cinematically, I will say, but it's playable, I think. And still we are at 1080p, and this is an integrated GPU from 5 years ago. This is a Ryzen 5500U, if I'm not mistaken. And you can also, lower the resolution and get better performance. So I'll try that. Yeah, it's a little bit blurrier now, but I can go out here and it still runs fine. And it's running. It not might be great, but it's running.
Something that we never talked about in the first video was the fact that we are trying to make the game look like a continuous shot, a bit like God of War Ragnarok. Even though our budget is a little bit smaller, we are mostly able to achieve that in the game. Of course, it's a pretty short game for now. The only cut we were not able to remove from the game is when you close your eyes to go to sleep and you find yourself when you open them again in the dream section of the game. That was something that was necessary for the game, of course, because it is a completely different scene, but we were able to mostly hide these transitions between levels. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If this looks interesting to you, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and to subscribe. That helps us a lot. And also remember to check out the Steam page for the wishlist if you want to help us. Thank you for watching the video, and I see you in the next one.